Aloha class. Today we'll be talking about color and how to put color into our web design. Right here I have the basic layout of my web page that I've been working on. So what we're going to do first is go ahead and duplicate this layer. That way I can go ahead and start playing with colors. Once we lock the layer so we don't make any changes on it, um, what I'll do next is rename it to, say, color. Um, as you see here, I already have some pictures where there's a little bit of color on the page already, so I'll go ahead and take those out just so that we can concentrate only on the value of our page. Right here, we have a little bit of hierarchy created with the different values, and I don't want the color to interfere with any of our future decision making for colors. So what I'll do here is where it says learn, I'll go ahead and select this, and I'll go ahead and pick a shade of blue that I want to work with. What I can do from this now is go ahead and click on the recolor artwork tool. By clicking on edit, we can select an example like monochromatic or analogous or complementary. I'll click complementary first. By choosing that, what we can kind of do, this is a really good tool for color because I can select a shade of blue and it'll pick the perfect complementary color. So if I say, for example, I swing it around to green, it'll pick in the red part of the color wheel the perfect complementary color. So it's just a really good tool to use for picking colors. So first I'll use this to go ahead and pick a complementary color, and go ahead and I'll pick that. So once I pick the color, I can kind of go into the color guide now, and it has different shades and tints. The shades are going to be darker, the tints then lighter. Um, and by selecting the area that I want to change, we can go ahead and change the different I guess shades or tints of that color. We can do this with all the different areas. I'll go ahead and do this with the box we have here. I'll go ahead and pick the complementary color to that. Also, some of the text that we have up here, it allows us to select these and change the colors. So we can just play around with all the different types of um, of our page. Then again, using the tints and the shades, we can go back and create that hierarchy that we had at the beginning when we just had values selected. So what I've done is I've come up with 3 examples to go over today. The first is monochromatic. I changed the design a little bit as well, just so we could play around with the use of the colors, so I could show you that. So monochromatic, what I showed before on the color wheel is that we can pick different different examples to do that. I'll pull that up again for monochromatic. So if we go back up into the recolor artwork, edit, monochromatic. Now what the tool will do is pick shades that are all in that same color on the color wheel that we want to use. And so that's the way that I came up with these kind of blue shades that we have here in the site. So I'll go ahead and cancel back out of this. After kind of putting this together, I like the blue, but I didn't so much like that it's kind of dull and cloudy and kind of boring. That's not really the feel I was going for in this web design. I wanted more of a happy, bright look to this page. So the next that I tried was analogous, where from the lesson before we remember that analogous is using same colors on the side of the color wheel. So here it's more green and orange and yellow uh, to kind of stay on that same area of the color wheel. This one I do like a little bit better. It does, we do have some hierarchy with the topic being a little bit darker and then some of the other text being lighter. And I feel like the green and the yellow and the orange work well together, and I feel like we've done a pretty good job with keeping the hierarchy um, good on this page. The next example I wanted to share is with complementary. Again, complementary, as we learned in the lesson before, is two colors on opposite side of the color wheel. So in this case it would be kind of a beigeish brown with another shade of blue. I really liked this as well because um, the example that I showed before, the analogous, that was a little bit too bright for my liking for this type of web design that we're creating. So I felt like these color patterns with the blue and the beige and the brown um, works a little bit better. It's a little, it still has a nice feel to it, but it's not as it's just more of a mellow tone, and that's kind of the feel I was going for with this. So now that we have our color scheme picked, the next thing you'll want to do in your own website as well is go ahead and save those colors. The easiest way to do that is to go ahead and select on your page all the colors have um, that you have used. Once you select all of those, we can go down here to new color group and create a new color group. We can name it, let's name this one complementary. Complementary. What that does, after we have to make sure it's selected artwork as we have here. Once we do that, it creates the new color group for us in the swatches area, and we can easily access those colors in the future. We don't have to go back and search and play around with those anymore. So that's how we can make or save these color schemes that we've created. Another way to come up with color schemes is an Illustrator tool. If we click on Window and bring this down to Swatch Libraries, there's a lot of really neat tools in here where we can pick different types of colors. So for example, kind of a fun one is foods, and then we can go to fruit. What that'll do is that'll bring up a whole lot of colors that could be, I guess, fruity, look like fruit colors. And so we could click on those and then we could drag those over into our swatches area, and then that'll be another area that we can use for, or another color scheme that we can use for web design. As you saw in there, there's a lot of different options: art history, um, different types of foods, just fun ones that you can play around with that Illustrator has kind of saved in there as defaults for us. So go ahead and when you just remember the simple principles that we learned in adding color to our web design, and kind of play around with it, have fun. As long as we follow those principles of keeping our values the same as that we had them before, and then we can play around with the monochromatic, analogous, and complementary color schemes, and kind of figure out which color scheme works best for the feel of our design and for what we're trying to get across. So have fun with it and good luck. Thank you.